Welcome back. My name is Thomas.
And my name is Nardos.
And we present to you this bi-weekly series called I Never Knew from YOTC, where we discuss the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church traditions and teachings. Today's episode is part of the 4th episode of the 2nd season of Explaining the Divine Liturgy, where one of our church sacraments, the Holy Communion, is administered. We will explain the significance of the words in the processions. I hope that now you are understanding the deeper meaning of the words while worshiping and singing.
In our last episode, we covered the back and forth chanting between the clergy members and the congregation, where we testified the blessings and gifts that are given to the angels and the Holy Virgin Mary. Today, we will continue where we left off.
After we declare the gift of the Archangel Michael, Gabriel, and the Virgin Mary, the chanting continues mentioning other icons and saints that we honor. Here it is important to notice that divine liturgy is where the angels, the departed righteous saints, and we, the earthly faithful worshipers, become one. So we believe that they are with us during that moment. The next chanting goes like this. David is given understanding and wisdom to Solomon, and the horn filled with oil to Samuel, for he was who anointed the kings.
As it is mentioned in the first book of Samuel, God chose David to be anointed because he was a man after God's own heart, which is truly understanding what pleases God and strictly doing that. And Solomon asked God to give him the gift of wisdom in 1 Kings chapter 3, verses 1 through 15.
And Solomon himself mentioned the beginning of wisdom is the fear of God, and in this incense, Ascension time, we call upon God to give us the blessing to be after his own heart and a foundation of wisdom, which is fearing him. And finally, we also remember the gift of Samuel, who willingly became God's servant to anoint the kings.
All these gifts that were given to the righteous is not wasted in vain, but to please God and utilize it according to God's will. We learn from this that every talent that is given to us is an incense to sacrifice to the Lord. This means making it useful to preach and to show Christ-like life so that others glorify his name and are connected with him. As our Lord said in Matthew 5:16, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." Next, the people say, Our father Peter is given the key for the kingdom of heaven, and being a virgin to John, and for our father Paul writing the letters, for he is the light of the church.
Here the congregation will call upon the holy apostles, Peter, John, and Paul. And here we mention that Peter is given the blessing of priesthood to remit and forgive sin, or retain and not forgive, as it was mentioned in Matthew 16:17 through 19. And we also mentioned the gift of celibacy is given to John the gospel writer, and the gift of writing the Pauline epistle to our father, St. Paul. Let us remember that these are the highlights of God's blessings when we ascend our genuine and true prayer as a sweet incense.
In John 14:2, Christ says, "In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you," which explains that God is by no means short of different gifts and blessings, and he promised us this as he gave the apostles and the prophets different gifts. Then next the clergy say, Efret me'is dieti Mariam,
The sweet-scented perfume is Mary,
esmezausta karsa zayit leah,
for who was in her womb has the sweetest incense of all.
mkulu itan meza watesagawa emeha.
And he came and became man from her.
Here we learn that the incense that we are burning during the divine liturgy is a metaphor for the true sweet-scented incense, Jesus Christ. And we also mention that he became man from the Virgin, whose purity can also be likened to a sweet-scented perfume.
Thanks for following with us and learning these deep mysteries of our divine liturgy. We will continue the next parts in the next episode. Bye.
Amen.